Okay, we're on lesson 1.3. This is page 20. And I'm going to do my best to help you with this. This page gets a little bit tricky, but that's okay. So this is absolute value in a real-world situation. In real-world situations, absolute values are often used instead of negative numbers. For example, if you use a $50 gift card to make a $25 purchase, the change in your gift card balance can be represented by negative $25. Example 1. Jake uses his online music store gift card to buy an album of songs by his favorite band. Find the negative number that represents the change in the balance on Jake's card after his purchase. Explain how absolute value would be used to express that number in this situation. So if you go and you check out this deal, he had $25, and then in the cart is an album, and the album cost $10. So step 1 is to find the negative integer that represents the change in the balance. Well, it's going to be negative 10. And the reason why it's going to be negative is because if he spends money, the account balance will decrease by $10. So that's the first part here. The balance went down. So the change is a negative number. It's negative because the balance went down. So that's that line. Let's go ahead and move down now. Step 2 says use the number line to show the absolute value of negative 10. Well, they did that for you. Negative 10 is over here, and if you count back to 0, that's 10 units. The absolute value of negative 10 is 10, or, and this is the same thing, the absolute value of negative 10 is 10. The balance on Jake's card decreased by $10. And then there's a reflect question at the bottom, and the reflect question reads, communicate mathematical ideas. Explain why the absolute value of a number will never be negative. The answer here goes back to the definition. The absolute value of a number is its distance or number of spaces away from 0. Since a distance cannot be negative, absolute values can never be negative. Technically they can be 0, but other than that they're always going to be a positive integer or a positive number. Alright, let's go ahead and move on to the next page. And we're just going to keep this video rolling, and we'll just combine both pages in one video. Let's do the your turn, and then we'll start a new video. Your turn, number 4, reads, the temperature at night reached negative 13 degrees Fahrenheit. Write an equivalent statement about using temperature using the absolute value of the number. So the first part of this gets a little bit tricky. What we're supposed to do is use the absolute value of the number. Well, the number is negative 13. And we're supposed to find the absolute value of that. So I want to remind you that these symbols right here are absolute value symbols. Well, if you think about where negative 13 would be on a number line, it would be 13 spaces to the left of 0. How many spaces away from 0? 13. So the absolute value is 13. So how do we use this number right here, 13, and say the same statement? We have to say that the temperature at night reached negative 13. Well, one way to do that would be to say this. The temperature, and we better say at night, the temperature at night reached 13 degrees below 0. Now I want you to notice how we said the same thing, but we didn't use a negative. I used a positive number here, 13, but then I used the words below 0. And those words below 0, those are the important part of the answer. Those words below 0 tell you that it ends up being a negative number. So what we just accomplished there was that we used absolute value to describe a negative number, and we used that instead of the negative sign. Okay, so 5 through 10, you're simply supposed to find the absolute value, and for each of these, I am going to say what I'm thinking. You'll pick up on this pretty quick. But number 5, I'm supposed to find the absolute value of negative 12. Negative 12 would be 12 spaces to the left of 0, therefore the absolute value of it is 12. Number 6, the absolute value of 91. 91 would be 91 spaces to the right of 0, the absolute value is 91. Number 7, the absolute value of negative 55. Negative 55 is 55 spaces to the left of 0, therefore the absolute value is 55. 0 is 0 spaces away from 0, so the absolute value of 0 is 0. This is technically why we can't say that absolute values are always positive. This is the one exception. This is the only absolute value that's not positive. It's 0. 88, the absolute value of 88 is 88 spaces to the right of 0, so the absolute value is 88. And number 10, 1 is 1 space away from 0, therefore the absolute value is 1. Okay, we're going to go ahead and stop this video and move on. When you're ready, you can load the video for the rest of this page.